Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, December 18th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. I just finished the Brad Johnson interview. That is available now to listen to or watch on our website under interviews. We just placed the link there. So any of you that weren't able to get in, because a lot of people couldn't get in because it was too packed, you can access it and watch it under interviews on our website. There are parts of us inside of each of us that are neglected, abandoned, and unlovable orphans that do not have a home. For years, we have avoided these parts, told ourselves that we are okay, when we honestly feel that we're not. Our job is to find and love these parts of ourselves which do not feel lovable. Reach inside and embrace these damaged parts of yourself. Show them how to feel loved. Don't expect anyone else to do this job better than you can. Open up your self-loving superpower and be with what you cannot be with. Face whatever sadness you are avoiding and running away from today. Stop every outward action and just truly connect with you. Make time to really be with your heart and connect with innermost being. Did you have anything more self-loving, kind, and healing planned for your day? When one becomes enlightened, laughter is almost a natural byproduct. Spontaneously it comes. For the simple reason that we have been searching and searching and searching for lives, for something which was already there inside. Our whole effort was ridiculous. Our whole effort was absurd. One laughs at the great cosmic joke, Osho. A dose of daily laughter is the key to manifesting an amazing life that we will love. Laughing is a key ingredient in learning how to let go. It is one of the most positive releases any of us can experience without having an actual orgasm. Laughter frees us up in such a unique way that there is no mind there analyzing, criticizing, and constantly efforting to remain in control. A good, long, authentic belly laugh is one of the best medicines we could ever take on a daily basis. If we can truly do this every day, it's a good chance that we are highly liberated human beings who are far along the journey on our spiritual path. If we can just have one big, long, deep belly laugh every day about something, anything that is remotely humorous, we will start opening ourselves up like a flower to receive a major healing in our lives. There are thousands of reported clinical cases where people have been healed of major life-threatening diseases just through laughing. The endorphins released in our brains naturally create a happy cocktail, which over time induces a massive healing reaction throughout the body. So really, truly, life basically comes down to you laugh or you die. And look at this planet. How many of us do that a day? And not forced, but just naturally. Have a great belly laugh once a day. If we cannot laugh at ourselves, our lives, or whatever we're taking too seriously, we're doing the opposite of healing ourselves. So give yourselves permission to have the biggest belly laugh of your life in the next 24 hours. And don't hold back. You'll start having a much lighter experience of life that will impact your inner perception of reality more than you know. It's common that people believe that some silly event needs to happen in order to really have a good laugh. The truth is that if you can start looking for the humor in life, you can laugh at just about anything. There is a perspective which is less dramatic, serious, and worried than any other. It just sees this human experience as if it was one big, long comedy. Just try to take a humorous view about something you're taking very serious in your life today. Is your seriousness really helping? Laughing about it feels much better than being angry, depressed, ashamed, blamed, or playing some old victim game inside. No matter what it is, you can always choose to see the divine order and comedy behind it all. You can let your life become a big orgasmic ball of laughter that fills the space with joy everywhere you are. The more you laugh, the more any of us laugh, the more we are free. You ever notice that? Maybe a lot of people don't pay attention to that. That when you're laughing, right? But you notice something? You're not thinking. You're not worrying. You're not stressing. You're not fearing. You're not worried about tomorrow or the past. It all leaves us whenever we laugh. We release that almighty grip on those all too important thoughts, beliefs and expectations, desires. The freedom leads us directly into the enlightened state. When we realize that we're in charge of which thoughts we choose to entertain, we fall directly into the cosmic joke of it all. The joke is that you are whatever you decide to put your attention on. You become that, no matter how much you want to argue that with yourself. Reality is like silly putty. Remember that it'd come in an egg and it was kind of like skin color, called it silly putty? It bends and molds to wherever you focus your mind. You can make it be whatever you want it to be. In 1 second, everything can change. Your entire perspective can shift a millimeter to the left. And you suddenly have a brand new expansive understanding about your entire life. Those who are awake live in a state of constant amazement. Those who are awake live in a state of cosmic, constant amazement. Buddha. The funniest thing about laughter is that it's not something you can do. It's something that happens to you. An authentic, outrageous laughing attack can only fall upon you when you have learned how to totally let go. If you want to enjoy your life to the max, you must choose to be able to let go of it. It's ironic, yet the idea that we are in control of our lives forces us to eventually swing over into the sense of feeling out of control. You ever felt that way? I think we all have one shape, form, or another in this life. When we can embrace both sides of the equation and consciously allow the ego to imagine that it's in control or out of control, then you can transcend them both. This is when the great cosmic joke sets in, and you realize that there is no need to control anything. You awaken to the fact that one of the greatest goals in life is to let it become one deep, long let go. This is when enlightenment sneaks in. It's this overly serious mind that has blinded us from knowing how to fully enjoy this life. It has gotten lost in the world of trying to achieve, resist, and become something. Laughter is not about achieving anything. It is a releasing and the cleansing of our past. It liberates us from the mind, delivers us to a place of deep peace inside, where enlightenment can be found. Inside. The serious mind doesn't have time or reason to laugh. It sees no purpose in laughing because it's too caught up in its own web of illusions. The serious mind has forgotten that the universe is a giant cosmic karmic playground where we are the actor, director, and producer of the play, as well as the watcher, witnesser, and audience who's seeing it all happening on stage. This massive playground exists in all directions and is within everything around us now. Just feel the vastness of its infinite presence. Connecting with the infinite universe provides the space to relax, let go of everything, and laugh at it all. There really is just one simple rule for creating massive joy in our lives. If we want to have an amazing life that we love, don't ever let seriousness into your body. Ever. Ever. No matter what anyone tells you, if what you're doing is not enjoyable, fun, or at least educational, then don't do it. You can find something better. Seriousness is a disease to our souls and only cripples our lives. It's never too late to change directions and have a sense of humor about it all. Just choose to let a little more lightness into your heart right now. How does that feel? If you can bring this lighter heart feeling into your mornings, your entire week will become lighter and more clear. The cloudy skies go away, and you can see how beautiful and fun life is. Again, did you remember that this life is supported and supposed to be fun? It just feels good to see how ridiculous the serious mind is and how overly contracted it can become about anything. Happiness is always a choice for any of us. What appears to be serious now will only change with time. So why not let go of this tension earlier? We all can afford to follow a lighter path now, and others will appreciate it. They will soon catch on. Even if people are devout grumpsters, our simple light-heartedness may be the secret to helping them bust a smile when no one is watching. Having access to this light, playful spirit is the key to creating a tremendous healing in our lives. It's the great golden secret to turning everyone's life around, including yours. Simply say to yourself every day, I can let go and laugh about it all. And yes, it's time that I started to have more fun in this awesome game called life. It all starts by taking a tiny step back from the mind and not taking anything, especially your mind, too seriously. We can all create a divine change in perception. Have you ever discovered that when you're walking around, right, or driving or you're listening, whatever, you notice how things change when you smile? Now, some people don't. I don't think or believe that they identify with that. They don't. They just smile and they feel good. Have you ever smiled and not felt good? I don't think so. And there's things that you can surround yourself with that will remind you to smile. And at first, it reminds us to smile, but then eventually you get used to smiling. And imagine if the scales tipped enough that when you smiled at strangers, they understood that it was a good thing, that you didn't have ulterior motives, that you smiled because you're happy. And what happens, have you ever been around a bunch of people that are laughing? You ever been with friends and all of a sudden it doesn't have to be, some massive joke, but something just kind of hits you and you just start hilariously laughing. You keep laughing. And then you ever heard someone say, "What's so funny about this?" "I don't know, but it's funny." And we hold this power, one of our powers. We hold it inside, and we got to take this life seriously. You don't take life seriously. What's wrong with you? You say it's about how the big thing is how we feel about what others think of us. When we can stop doing that genuinely, where we don't really care what anybody thinks about us, then we're really free. But you see how it plays on the civilization, where people will say you're always smiling and everything, and this is serious stuff. Why aren't you being serious about this? And some people take offense at that. It's not that you're watching it that you think it's insignificant. It's just that it's funny. When we step outside of the civilization that we're a part of, as far as these bodies, we start to realize is that it is funny. There's so much of it that is funny. You don't have to go running around laughing at people or anything like that, but you laugh with yourself. This is a riot. It's just so funny. It's like right now on this planet, we're approaching the most phenomenal, magna glorious, stupendous, spectacular transition. We're right in it. And everything is changing for the civilization. And it's just going to be absolutely phenomenal. And everything that you have witnessed in this life isn't going to be anywhere near what it's going to be in the new life. And that doesn't mean you're going to leave your body and, everything's going to be destroyed. It just means you'll transition. And to be alive right now in this time is a gift that we're witnessing this. And you can laugh more because when you see the ridiculousness, and we all know it, but we get caught up in the physical material world so much that we forget about it. Haven't you ever just kind of chuckled to yourself? And I'm not talking ego mind, I'm talking heart mind. At all of this, at all the things, and sometimes we watch ourselves. We notice, we talk to ourselves. I'm sure a lot of you talk to yourselves, which is a good thing. And you say, this is really crazy. This is nuts. And you just kind of chuckle to yourself on how ridiculous some things are on this planet right now. You're not judging. You're just laughing at it. And this comes from within, and we begin to realize is that this life, we're here to have fun, right? Does it make any sense to any of us that we're all gods and we come in these bodies and we experience physical life, and we're going to go through pain, suffering, and struggling all the time, and then we have a brief moment of youthfulness, and then the body deteriorates? Isn't that crazy? It's like some kind of a comedy hour. So we came here to enjoy ourselves, and that's what the shift and liberation of this planet's all about. Moving into enjoyment, fun, laughter. That's why we go to have others make us laugh. And there aren't many of those left, have you noticed? And you can, when you step away, when you step outside of your life right now, without judgment, and you just kind of look at everything, you're going to laugh. I guarantee you, you're going to laugh in one way, shape, form, or another on how crazy things are. And there's no way to debate this. When you laugh, all that worry, stress, fear, anxiety is gone while you're laughing. And it has a residual effect. You ever notice that? When you've been laughing a lot, don't you feel kind of euphoric? Really? I mean, have you ever noticed that you feel really good? You get more oxygen when you laugh into the body. And all of your senses and all of the body's motions go up a few notches in a healthful way. It's like I myself, had teddy bears. And I look at the teddy bears every day, and I smile. And I chuckle. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could just be you without any kind of a catalyst. But then it sets it. It sets the mood of the day. When the first thing you do in the morning is smile. It has nothing to do with your external reality. It has nothing to do with that storm raging out there while you're in that peaceful, magnificent vortex. You see? It's only when we get seduced to step into that storm is then we start suffering. We don't stop suffering. So you take your pick. What would you rather do? Be serious or laugh a lot? And look what serious does. Serious causes us to get constricted, stressed, irritable. After a while, we all done it. After a while, if we get too serious, and then everything is serious. And then we find ourselves, even in social times, that we're serious. And you ever notice how people kind of move out of things? Oh, I was just joking. You ever done that? Or have you ever had other people do that with you when you're talking and everything, and they throw something at you, and you're so serious, and you're so used to being serious that you take it serious and not lightheartedly? And so then they notice that, and they come in and say, I was just joking. I wasn't being serious. You took it seriously. How many times in relationships have you took things seriously, which could have been totally different if you'd have taken with laughter? And we are all concerned about what others think of us. And that's one of our biggest prisons. Because when you think about it, when you feel, when you believe and understand that we aren't these bodies, why would we care, as gods in the body, what others think of us? We wouldn't, would we? Unless we've been seduced so far in the physical reality of this planet that we created, quite frankly. So it is being in joy, right? In joy. Inside of us is the joy, is the laughter, is the happiness. It is not outside of us. It never has been, and it never will be. We are all, collectively, we know this as gods in these bodies, that we're all one. So when we come by others, it's not the shell, it's the God within it. Now you probably knowing this, you come across sometimes and you say, I really don't like that body or that person, that body and their character or personality, but I love the God within it. That's the difference, see. And then there's others, you love the God within and the body. But sometimes we just don't love the bodies. We don't love the people, some of the people not the body, but the God within. See, we have to remind ourselves of that. There's a God in that body, even though that person is a jerk. And that's tough for us because of the fact that we're so used to being in an unnatural state. And that's irritable, distrusting, worried, fearful. And it's just all part of the transition. When we begin more and more becoming one with the gods that we are, then it slowly changes. You start understanding that. You understand the ego mind, right? You understand that when we operate through the ego mind, what happens? Do we laugh a lot? No. We're always serious. Because ego mind, it's on that track. And there's always light and dark, and there's always dark and light. Where there's good, there's bad, and where there's bad, there's good. So I think we know that. It's not something that we're just discovering. But it's to go deeper within and understand that we don't care to have detachment in the direction of the ego mind. We would like to master the ego mind so that we can put the ego mind as assisting us rather than, enslaving us. And when that happens, the ego mind is gone. There's not really any of us on this planet that has mastered fully the ego mind. But when you move into that with that understanding is that, that's ego. That's an ego. That's ego. That's not my thought. You're starting to break it down. You're starting to realize that you are not that body, but you can view the body and then you can change things. Whenever you find yourselves in a slow, tired, or lull state of energy, imagine a bright golden light is coming from every vertebrae in your spine, and it is sending light out in every direction, and it blasts straight up into the sky, into the earth below you, and in all four directions, totally surrounding you. Visualize this golden light as the source of love. Let yourself feel, believe, know, I am the source of love. And you are. It's not made up. Each of us are the source of love. And when everybody on this planet fully understands that to a certain extent, there will be no conflict. There will be no aggressiveness. It won't be necessary. And it won't be in our frequency pattern anymore because we will have surrendered it. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing, always, relax the body. We know we're not the body. We're not the name. We're not the personality. We're not the character. We are our belongings, our assets. We are the God in the body. So to relax the body is how? Through the breath. We relax these bodies through the breath. We focus only on our breath. Easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth. And when we do that, we're relaxing the body and we've moved into the now. And people say, well, how do you know? How do you know that? How do you know? Well, in the heart mind, not the head, but the heart, you'll start to discover that the body begins to relax as you focus on the breath. You can listen to the breath and you'll feel your body unbind. And you keep saying it. Now, the ego mind's going to keep trying to break in. But you stay focused on the breath, and it won't. And then all the mind chatter, as the body continues to relax, let go. All that mind chatter that we all deal with, we all have 24/7, it's gone. And then all these thoughts, these programmed thoughts, tens of millions of them floating by like clouds in the sky, we don't grab them. We're focused only on the now. And majority of our thoughts aren't ours. Over 90% of our thoughts are not ours. They entertain us, they occupy us because we believe they are, but they're not. They're other people's thoughts. And they're programs. So focusing on the breath relaxes the body. And you feel the body get lighter. You ever done that? You ever been so relaxed that you feel like you're just really light? You ever been in that zone? I think we all have, once or twice in this life. You're not thinking, you're not worrying, stressing, fearing. You just are being. It's a great feeling. Staying focused on the breath. You can do this anytime too, you know. I mean, you're not gasping and taking huge, deep breaths. You're just really easily breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And this stills the ego mind. Through our breath, so many things can be done and accomplished. Is that we do this through the heart mind. We leave the ego mind alone, so all the chatter is gone, and we watch the ego mind. It's the only way we master them. We don't judge them, we just watch them. And this is where you start realizing is that that's an ego thought. That's ego. That's not my thought. You ever been doing something and you have these strange thoughts come in? None of us are exempt for that. Where do they come from? You ever ask yourself that? Where did this thought come from? This isn't my thought. That's a good thing. You're able to identify it. It's not, this isn't my thought. I let it go. Surrender it. Don't care to participate in that thought. Remember, when we generate a thought, we put the thought out to the universe. But when they're not our thoughts, but they're really good at trying to trick us that they are coming in, not out. You see the difference? You'll know it too. We all know it. We just don't identify with it. It says that's not my thought. That thought came in. I'm not sending the thought out. So therefore, I didn't generate the thought. It could get it gets a little sticky, but you figure it out eventually. So we choose to stay in our natural state of being, which is relaxed. That's our that's our natural state of being. That's why when we're stressed and tense and irritable and stuff, it takes a long time to recover from that. And some people are that way all the time. So you can imagine the havoc it's playing on them biologically. But it's a choice. And a lot of people say, well, it's just too tough. It's too hard to just always stay in the now. It can get a little challenging because we're not used to it. Because we're worried about what others think and all that stuff and the external reality. Excuse me. But when you get used to it. You invite it and you embrace it. And it becomes the natural state of being that it always has been. But see, when people ask you, where do you think you'll be a couple of years from now? And you answer them, I have no idea, nor do I care. What? What are you talking about? I'm only in the now. I focus on the moment. How do you know how do you know you're going to be here 10 minutes from now? You don't. So that's why you just focus on the now. All that other stuff, when you don't focus on the now, you suffer. You go into expectations and attachments. You go into all of this stuff. Isn't that true? We all do it. We suffer. Why do we want to suffer? I think we could suffer maybe our first, a year in this life. That's all we would need. We would know what suffering was about. And the interesting thing is that we generate that. We create it. So doesn't it make sense that a natural state of being is much more relaxing than an unnatural state of being? So these bodies get relaxed as we focus on our breath. And the breath is divine positive energy because the soul, the God that we are, the pure consciousness, comes into the body, powers the body up, and everything starts functioning. So we're like an endless power source for this body. So we power it so that we can maneuver in it, so we can experience physical life. So the breath is divine positive energy. Without it, the body would not function. But sometimes, and I think the more conscious we become aware of this, these thoughts come in, and we could be focused on something, and we float off. These thoughts come in. There's tens of millions of them. They're all programs. So we're pretty used to doing it, and we just grab one and we're off somewhere else. And I know that you've experienced this, where you might be talking with someone and they seem to leave. They're not listening. Or you might have someone talking to you and you just zone out. You just kind of go off somewhere. And those thoughts floating like clouds in the sky. We happen to latch onto one, and it takes us off. Now, this is when it's really important to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself, and be in deep gratitude 24/7. So when that happens, you take it in stride. You say, okay, so I've wandered off. This is not a biggie. I'll focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. And every time we do it, 3,000% of the time, we're in the now. And the more we do it, the more in habit we'll become with it. And the more understanding we will have that it's always been our natural state of being, is being in the now. And when we look at these bodies as the gods that we are, right? And we see in the body, we see 7 lights. And they go from the tailbone all the way to the top of the head. Now, these lights are called chakras, and the definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. And they're not like colors you would see on this planet. They're much deeper, brighter, vibrant. What are they? You can't pick them up and juggle them. They're etheric spiritual energy. We, the gods that we are in these bodies, are etheric spiritual energy. And we enter and flow through these wheels of light, these chakras. So you understand how intimately we are connected to these bodies while being in them, and how we know everything there is to know about these bodies without external authority telling us, and that the day will come where we will discover this for ourselves through the heart-mind, and we will be able to heal anything in these bodies almost instantaneously. You'll be able to keep yourself young. I mean, this is where we're heading. And that's why these technologies that are being introduced are there. So eventually we learn that we won't need the technologies. We'll be able to do it ourselves. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because we flow through these bodies, through these chakras, these wheels, and it's right down to the quantum core, which is the smallest of the smallest particles. And so all of our emotions, all of our organs, all of our personality, character, everything, the God within is the expert of the body. That's why some people finally discover how they can heal themselves. Now, we also know that our souls, when they come into the body and power the body, the soul is the heaven. Heaven is not a place. That's the deception, fooling this civilization. Heaven is you, the God that you are. So the soul, the God, the pure consciousness, you, are heaven, the body, earth, heaven on earth. We are literally heaven on earth. And every step that we take, we're creating paradise, literally, transforming the planet into higher and higher vibrational frequencies. And we also shine our light. We are shining our light always, infinity. Now, when you're consciously aware, and what does consciously aware really mean? That we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. That's being consciously aware. Which means we know we are the God. Through the heart mind, nothing to do with the head, the ego mind. And eventually the ego mind will come around to understanding that that's the truth and that it will no longer be needed. So if you were to take a flight, a starship, off planet, and you'd go far enough out so you could see the globe in its entirety, you'd see that it glowed. We're not talking about the lights, the city lights. And you would also understand that you would look at the lights around it, surrounding it in this universe, and they would look like a lit candle in a pitch black room, dim. They'd all dim in comparison. Now picture you're standing in a center path, right? There's three paths. There's one on the left, which looks very used, which is the past. There's one in the center, which is the now, which almost looks brand new. And then there's one on the right, the future, which looks very used. Now these paths are canopied with trees. Emerald green, vibrant grass path going to center. And then you have all these golden, shimmering trees with the leaves and the bark and everything. It's just breathtaking, right? And it is actually the God that you are. So, now the one on the left, past, we all go in the past. We reminisce. We have memories. They're fun. You know, something will kick it off, or something that you have, heirloom or something, you'll remember things. You know, you go into your library in your subconscious mind, you open the book, you read, you see the pictures, and that was a great time. And we also visit some of the bad times. But then we leave. But some of us, and I do not believe that they do it on purpose or even consciously, but they'll go in that past and they'll stay there. And they stay there so long that they end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past in that future. And that's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. And we all go in the past, but we don't stay there. And same with the future. The future doesn't exist because we're creating it in the now. So when we go into that so-called future, we are always asking ourselves certain questions. When am I going to be healthy enough to enjoy my life? When is this doom and gloom going to go away? When am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life? When am I going to be happy? And we all do it. And it isn't a negative. It's just something we do. It's part of our entertainment, actually. And then we start to learn is that we, the gods that we are, and being consciously aware, we design these lives. We design them. We create them. And we throw in all of these things. Some of them are challenges, adventures, we'll put it that way. They're adventures. We create our lives. So that gives you some kinds of heads up there. What kind of life? In the now, they'll say. But when you're in the now, you're just in the now. And that's the center path. That's the edge of the coin. Coin has three sides. You got the tail side, the head side, and then you've got the edge, which is the now. Now, we also know that we all have souls. And we know that those souls are God, pure consciousness. And we're consciously aware. We also know that parts of us, the gods that we are asleep. They aren't aware. And they will wake up in their own time. So they're always with us because they are a part of us, but they aren't awake. So we communicate with the parts of us, the gods that we are, that are awake, consciously aware. And this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. This is all the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, all of the off-worlders, celestials, galactics, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her, all light energy beings on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. Because of the eyes we have with these physical bodies, we only see 1% of what is. And understand that all of us that are one, okay, both asleep and awake, are in the Gugaplexes. Gugaplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. In trillions of universes and trillions of light energy. Gugaplexes. There is a group, most of them, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations of which we never see. But there is a group that we're familiar with. And parts of it we do interact with on a daily basis. It is life-sustaining for these bodies to do so. Fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, dolphin, whale, pegasus, unicorn, centaur, minotaur. Now, would we be able to stay in these bodies if they did not get what? Air, oxygen. No. Would we be able to stay in these bodies if they could not have water? No. So we are intimately connected with some of these light energy beings. Water is a magic. It is kind of a being. Same with all the elementals. So we do interact. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them exactly like we want to see them with the wings and the feathers and everything. They might just be someone like you that walks by and makes a wonderful comment out of the clear blue that you just kind of go, wow, what was that? or someone that you meet, stranger you have conversation with, and it feels really good. You ever done that? You never known them before, physically, and you really enjoy the conversation. And then when you're off and about doing whatever, sometimes it dawns on you, say, holy cow, that was an angel. I know that was an angel. And you're right. And a little bit of bliss bubbles up. Now, they send us a message, and they do it in so many different ways that we're not always aware. I'll put it that way. And the message really is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And yes, it is. And it's bliss. Many of us get caught up in the external physical world, so we lose sight of that fact. Because I'm telling you, as gods we are, but we're not in these bodies. You imagine this, right? You don't drink, you don't eat, you don't breathe. It's totally different existence. You don't eat. You don't really laugh and smile and cry and frown. Do you imagine that? Not ever enjoying a really nice meal or something? Or, seriously, a beautiful ocean front or a lake or something, or a mountain view. You see how seduced we can become by these bodies? How we can lose sight of the fact, get amnesia maybe, where we don't remember what we are, who we are. Because we get so seduced into these bodies of all of the things. How could we ever be bored in this life? Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in a blink of the eye. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a small number, a large number in a small area. Or even a small number in a large area. It doesn't matter. Tens of thousands, tens of millions. And if you ask, there they are. And you are bliss. Now, the ascended masters, they have mastered physical. So they've ascended into physical, mastered physical, ascended out of physical, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical, are in the process of mastering physical, and we are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, celestials, galactics, over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. And this particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all gathered, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand. Hundreds of millions of us. And it doesn't matter if it's a billion light years away that part of us is housed in another form, another physical form. We're one. And we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God source, the kingdom of God. You, me, all of us. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brilliance. And it is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. It is flooding this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. There is nothing that can escape it. Nothing. Even down to the quantum quark. Everything is being bathed and saturated in this golden white shimmering light of the love that we are of and from. Everywhere you look, everywhere you walk, everywhere you are, your light is being shined outward, and you are blasting it on all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And the best way to describe it that I've been able to come up with is that it's like a grand finale fireworks show that we've never seen. It's so massive, and just an intense laser light show that we've never seen before, and then a ballroom globe like you see in the ballroom with the mirror reflecting and slowly turning, except this one is 1 trillion times larger, 1 trillion times more intense. All of this combined, and you have the ocean of glitter. And the colors we've never seen before. They're so brilliant and bright, colors that have never existed on this planet. So we're curious, so we go to the points of reflection. And we get real close, and we notice that these are little tiny molecular mirrors, molecular-sized mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them, and we notice and discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are teaching and learning and teaching, students and teachers, teachers and students of all life. It doesn't matter how life is housed, but each part of ourselves is teaching us. So animals of all kinds, trees, plants, clouds, skies, everything, teaching us. Most of us are too wrapped up in the physical world to realize this. Some of us are starting to discover it. A bug in the rug can teach you a lot. A fly on the wall can teach you a lot. All you choose to do is to observe. Be the watcher. There is a plethora of learning out there for all of us. It's what we do. That's what we'll always do. Teaching through the heart-mind. Spectacular. So we continue to ascend, and some of us decide to step out of our physical form and hover effortlessly above if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come in contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created, all of us created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column is an oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. The golden white ball of light is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light. It looks like that they're infinity. They don't end. And they're all creating this a white cloud, a white of the whitest whites. And it's like sparkling, and it looks like a little bit of electrical firings in it. And it's absorbed within us. It comes within. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, we discovered that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest eternal love. Then comes gratitude, peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, well-being, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. And all that, we discover, is the reflection of the gods that we are. It is us. Now, at the top of this tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now. Infinity. Never stopping. Again, this is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. It's flooding this planet. We're all swimming in it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Not only that, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere almost 4 years ago. It houses over 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't fade. They don't disintegrate and go away. They intensify and they expand. Hundreds of millions of us with the total intent of liberation of this planet. Which means what? Liberation of everything. And we're experiencing it. Going into higher and higher vibrational frequencies of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And you can plug into this anytime you wish. Anytime you wish. When you're ready to take on a new challenge, you are ready for self-inquiry. Start by meditating on the question, who am I? Conscious introspection can lead to enlightenment. So dive into yourself. Ask yourself questions all day long, like, who is watching now? Who is hearing this? Who is experiencing this body? Notice what thoughts your mind creates as an answer to this question. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Today, speak what cannot be spoken. Listen to what you cannot hear. Sit with the feelings you cannot bear to feel. See what your eyes are unwilling to watch. Simply practice being with what you are resisting. And notice the strategies you have to try to control and manipulate your experience of this life. Notice what you demand from yourself, life, and others, and explore how you can face all your demons inside today. This is your day to become a spiritual warrior and enjoy the experience of transcending all these illusionary thoughts, feelings, and experiences that you cannot be present to. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning, and we will return here Sunday, December 19th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation